Thank you, Sukhjinder. Good morning, and thank you for coming. So it is my privilege and honor to welcome you all to the second edition of E-comm MENA. We did this last year, and this being the second year, we are actually definitely grown bigger. Now, over the next 2 days, we will deliberate on a lot of the topics, and we have an excellent lineup of speakers who are going to deliberate on the issues, the concerns, the challenges which we have in this region as well as globally. Now, I will just take a few minutes to actually give a background before we set this in. So the way we look at is e-commerce has actually grown multifold over the past few years. Now, if you look at traditionally in the 1980s, 90s, it was all a brick and mortar. But suddenly we see that most of the brick and mortar also have an e-commerce thing. Now, what has changed drastically over the years that this has now become so prominent? Now, the way I look at in terms of manufacturing, of course, there's a lot of things which have changed. Procurement, yes, some things have changed. But the essential thing which I say is the customer tolerance time that has reduced drastically. And that is the reason we are trying to be faster to the market. And in order to be faster to the market, it's technology which is actually driving us there. See, technology was always there, but if you look at it in the 1980s, you had a manufacturing, you had a system for manufacturing, you had a system for procurement, you had a system for sales. But none of these systems could really talk to each other. The technology was not there. So that's how the ERP came in. Now, over the last few years, there has been rapid technological advances. Now, any technology can talk to any technology. And it has become cheaper, it's faster. So this is now because it's affordable, people are really getting there. Of course, it still needs to be a little more cheaper because the small enterprises are still struggling. But essentially, to summarize, there are two things which have actually been the foundation for why this is coming in such a big way. First is the customer tolerance time has reduced drastically. So everybody is trying to be faster. Second is we have technology which is supporting us. If you talk about Industry 4.0, you have blockchain, you have AI, you have AR, VR, cloud. So of course I will not, we have experts speaking about this for the next 2 days. So with this, I once again welcome you all for that. And of course you can, let's make the most of these 2 days. And in case you want to, we are also in the social media, so you can use the hashtag #EcommMENA. So that's where you can actually post pictures and you can also even interact with the speakers. So with this, I will go to the opening keynote, which is about building a global e-commerce business in UAE. And for this, I invite Mr. Badir Almusharrekh, who is actually a director with the Ministry of UAE, and he looks after trade policies and international organization department. And he holds, I was just going through his background last night, and he holds a master's degree from UK. So over to you, Mr. Badir.
Good morning to you all. They put here in the agenda that I will speak for 30 minutes. No way. 30 minutes is too much, and 10 minutes is too much in the technology world now. So let me start. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that today's conference can be one of the platforms that enhance discussion on ways to develop e-commerce and to find the favorable factors to make the UAE one of the main global e-commerce hub. This special event takes place at a time when the global trade facing rapid changes, driven by fast technological growth and the growing usage of artificial intelligence technology in many areas of our lives. Due to e-commerce, most people in developed and developing countries have access to more and better services and products at lower price, and businesses can sell to new cross-border consumers in efficient way. I think It's natural that people nowadays need e-commerce for simple reason like choice, ease, speed, cost, convenience of services and products. And life can be better when online businesses efficiently delivers goods and services to happy customers. Yet not everyone in every country benefits equally. And sometimes in many countries, local businesses are often left playing catch up. Ladies and gentlemen, the UAE has been able to capitalize on the recent global trade environment and record continuous growing every year. According to the E-commerce Index in 2018 of the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, the UNCTAD, that includes 151 nations, the UAE has been rated as the most advanced country for online shopping in MENA region, and the fourth most prepared developing countries for e-commerce. The UAE government is working smartly to make the UAE as next e-commerce capital of the world. Global e-commerce sales grew 13% in 2017, hitting an estimated 29 trillion US dollar, according to the latest number released by UNCTAD. In MENA and South Asia region, e-commerce sales reached 51 billion US dollar in 2017, accounting for about only 3% of global e-commerce sales. However, the region is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 24.6% by 2020, the fastest growth rate compared to the rest of the world markets. Strong foundation and efficient infrastructure are in place for e-business to develop and thrive in the UAE. According to the Fitch rating, e-commerce market value in UAE increased from 27.6 billion dirham in 2016 to 35.6 billion dirham in 2017. And according to the to reports from World Economic Forum, the value of e-commerce in the UAE is expected to reach 100 billion dirham by 2020. As such, the UAE will continue to play an integral role in development and promotion of e-commerce throughout the GCC and the region. As for e-commerce regulation, the UAE adopted many positive initiatives and regulatory framework to license and establish regulations and motivate e-license holders to compete with multinational e-firms from their base in the UAE. This includes Federal E-commerce Platform Initiative, which creates a tool for safe and efficient communication and interaction between license holders and consumers. The UAE government also adopted the regulatory framework for e-commerce licensing and the regulatory framework for transnational e-commerce companies initiatives that to encourage fair competition amongst national and international companies in the e-commerce sector in the UAE, as well as providing incentives for e-commerce license holders, especially UAE nationals, to promote entrepreneurship and innovations. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, you as professionals in the field of e-commerce can remain committed to creating opportunities for greater economic gains and harnessing the full potential of the e-commerce sectors and matching the expectations of governments, businesses, consumers, and individuals. I look forward to the discussion and wealth of knowledge through this event as we look ahead to the future and fruitful, greater hope. I wish you all the best and have a fruitful day. Thank you very much.